give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Oh, give me a land where the bright diamond sand flows leisurely down the clear stream, where the graceful white swan goes gliding along like a maid in a heavenly dream. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Yes, good evening. Yes, here comes some stanzai. Here's some stanzas you've never heard before, probably. How often at night, when the heavens are bright, how often at night, oh yeah, here comes some more of those. I got a little melodically mesmerized by the chorus. How often at night, oh, give me home, how often at night, when the heavens are bright with the light from the glittering stars, have I stood there amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. All right. Hey, what's up, Jay? What's up, Z? Hey, Mom. Hey, everybody. One more verse. This thing keeps going. All these unknown verses. Oh, give me a home where the air is so pure and the zephyrs so free and the breeze is so balmy and light that I would not exchange my home on the range for all of the cities so bright. That's a vote for the rural over the urban life in that final verse. Home, 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 home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Don't fence me in. Yeah, that's a Cole Porter, I think. I heard we were at a recital at Carnegie Hall about 30 years ago of the great bass Samuel Ramey. He was singing, and his encore was "Don't Fence Me In" because he's from Kansas. I'm not sure, Mobius, what you're talking about with the Oh, I see. Okay, got it. All right. Okay. When you start talking about booing, it's a little bit triggering. You guys are having a side conversation about something in the news, not pertaining to what's going on here, to the present proceedings, which are boo free. I saw your comment was confusing. It threw me for a little bit of a loop. You were talking about stuff that, uh, in any case, now I got it. I scrolled back. I saw. Now I'm going to look away. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am Ethan Hirschenfeld. This is the nosho, which happens every night at 9 on the East Coast here on YouTube. The nosho. This is the nosho for Sunday. Let's call it the 26th. Let's call it the 26th. It's Sunday, the 26th of May, 2024. If you ever were to be unfortunate enough to get, like, let's say you were struck by a scooter. Let's say you were just a pedestrian minding your own business and you were struck by a scooter. And then you came to on the sidewalk. And there was an EMT hovering over you, much like I'm hovering over you right now. One of the first things they might ask you is, what's today's date? Thinking that that's a good arbiter of whether you're compos mentis. But I think that's what compos mentis means. But I don't know that that's really the place to start. Like, who's the president? That also could be confusing for some people. Um, what's your name? That's a good one. What's your name? You should be able to answer that under basically any circumstance. But the date, I don't know. La da 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 da. Z, hello, aloha, there in Hawaii. Z engaging in a little bit of fun and harmless wordplay. Thank you for that. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, Dawn. Hello, Richard. Hello, Mobius. Hello. No, Dawn. No, I didn't mean. I was not trying to castigate you. That one comment threw me for a ectomycorrhizal symbiosis. Okay, thank you, Z. I got to look that up. All right, so that song, Home on the Range, so I just read about that song. Some people might know it because Bing Crosby recorded it in 38 and in 39. Sinatra recorded it in 46. Wow, Sinatra recorded that song, Home on the Range, in 1946. It was released in Great Britain, but it was not available in the United States until 1993. Yeah, that sounds like a bad fit. Frank Sinatra singing Home on the Range, just in terms of tone, and I don't mean vocal tone, although maybe that too, but just he's his whole image was urban. I don't think, did Sinatra ever make a cowboy movie? This is maybe not the most popular opinion, and opinions, take them or leave them, but I like listening to the young Frank Sinatra, but I found him very hard to take in his later years. There's a sort of bombast. The tone is sort of coarse and bombastic. Just his personality was I just find him very overbearing as a singer. And he's one of those singers who's ubiquitous. There's a guy here in Provincetown who has a gallery, an art gallery, and he plays, I mean, whenever he's open, constantly, there's just Sinatra pumping out of his gallery. It's really, a little hard to take. But as long as he's having fun. All right, so this song, Home on the Range, talk about an oldie. This one, the poem was written in 1871. Oh, sorry, 1872. The guy's name was Higley, Dr. Brewster M. Higley. That Dr. Brewster M. Higley. That really sounds like a character from maybe from a Western. Dr. Brewster Higley moved from Indiana to Kansas, and he wrote the lyrics as the poem "My Western Home." So that's the original name of this song. "Home on the Range" is "My Western Home." It became many years later became the Kansas state song, and it's one of the 7 fight songs of the University of Kansas. It doesn't sound like a good fight song. It's a very sweet, lilting melody. It's a sweet song of being comfortable at home, being in the place you like to be. And then there was big lawsuits about this song. There was in February of 1876, the Kerwin Chief, that was a paper, it published a front page article with a giant headline, a banner headline that said plagiarism, accusing the Stockton News of publishing a nearly identical poem credited to a Mrs. Emma Race. Anyway, there was dispute about the words. There was dispute about who wrote it. And anyway, it's been it's one of those songs. It's like the official cowboy song. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play. Technically, deer and antelope don't play. That's what's called anthropomorphizing. Endowing non-human things and creatures with human qualities. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do play. Dogs play. Why shouldn't deer and antelope play? I take it back. Deer and antelope do play. They're known for their sense of whimsy and recreation. Where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. I think I commented on this before, but it's there are all these uses of negatives. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word. Seldom is heard a discouraging word. And the skies are not cloudy all day. The skies are not cloudy all day, but they're cloudy most of the day. No, that's not what they mean. They mean the skies are never cloudy. It's always bright and sunny. And the skies are not cloudy all day. There it is, Home on the Range. All right, thanks. I hope you're home on your range, wherever your range is. And if you're out ranging about somewhere, I hope you're enjoying your temporary range. I hope you had a good weekend. What do we got in the comments? We're talking about single cellular organisms. Chickens play. Yes, for sure. Chickens play. That's right. Kansas is very flat. It's also dead center, like the geographic center of the United States is there. Yeah, Brewster M. Higley. It definitely sounds like a W. Brewster M. Higley at your service. Oh, JX, agree about Sinatra and Blue Lady. Interesting. Okay, good. I'm glad. The other person who became ubiquitous that was just really painful was in the late 90s was that Italian singer who's a fine singer, but I didn't love his voice and it became such a cliche. You couldn't sit in an Italian restaurant without hearing Bocelli. That guy Andrea Bocelli, who had a few hits, and he had a very nice tenor voice, but it wasn't all that compared to the tenors of yore. But every restaurant just, whew. I think there was a World Cup thing where one of his songs became a hit, and so suddenly he was everywhere. Here's to variety. If you have a gallery and you're playing music outside of your gallery, don't play the same person over and over again. Variety. I think variety. Anyway. Oh, chickens. Birds not only play, thank you, Neurogeezer. Birds not only play, but they seem to understand play the same way we do, which is strange because birds parted company with reptiles after splitting from the mammals. All right. Yeah, they definitely play. I mean, I've seen all these videos lately online. In fact, I share a lot of them with my mom, who has a lovely bird. Some of these birds, you see them doing all kinds of funny hide and seek, dancing. But I guess there could be arguments among the among the ornithologists about what constitutes actual play versus learned behavior. Okay, I promised. I'm gonna have a sip. I promised that I would. I have a little thing in my throat. I promised that I would discuss something last night, and I didn't get to it. This is going to be anticlimactic because it's fruit stickers. Those little stickers on fruit. I am tempted to run for office just as the anti-fruit sticker candidate. Fruit stickers are an affront. They're an affront to fruit, and they're an affront to people who consume fruit. Fruit, as we know, it grows on trees. It grows on trees, and you can eat it straight off of a tree. Some fruit you have to peel. It comes fully formed. It seems miraculous. If you believe in miracles, it's this beautiful, fully formed, ready to consume, magical, delicious thing. And it has its own next generations contained inside in the form of a seed. It's a perfect thing. And now they put a sticker on it. It's so offensive. It's aesthetically offensive. And then you have all these little plastic ovals around the house. You have to pick a sticker off of every piece of fruit. You have to pick the fruit, and then you have to pick the sticker off the fruit. I wish we could. I wish we could eliminate the fruit sticker. A friend had an idea, which would be a stamp. It would be a stamp, and it would be some sort of non-toxic kind of ink. So you could stamp. Each piece of fruit could get stamped. But I could see problems with that. Then you're injuring the fruit. How about just no stickers and no? Back in the day, there was no stickers or stamps or. Why can't we just go back to having the fruit not be labeled? You just bring the fruit to the register, and I mean, I know there's a lot more varieties, but when I was living and working a lot in Italy back in the day, they were very serious about their fruit. You would go to a fruit stand, and it was kind of like visiting a jewelry shop. Like in Turin, where I was singing on one job, there was a gorgeous fruit stand. It was like a fruit showroom, like a Ferrari showroom for fruit, like a boutique, a fruit boutique, a fruitique. If we opened them here in the States, we would call them fruitique, and we would spell fruit with two O's. And you would go in there and you would look and you would point at the fruit you wanted, and then the proprietor would then select the fruit for you and put it in the bag and then weigh it, and you would say how much you wanted, more or less, and then they would hand it to you. If you dared to touch the fruit like we do in America, we touch the fruit, we handle the fruit, we sniff the fruit. That was not acceptable. It would be like going into a jewelry shop and reaching under the counter and just grabbing stuff and trying it on. Great fruit, great vegetables. There was also the thing there of it being seasonal. You didn't have everything in every month. The stuff that was growing at that point. All right. So that's it. That's my platform if I run for office. No stickers on your fruit. Because then also if you like to compost, if you compost, which is a good thing to do, then that's another, you can't, like if you peel a banana, you gotta remove the sticker. You can't put that little fruit sticker in the compost. It's not going anywhere. It's not composting. Another related thing that I heard is, we probably know this, but I've probably said on the show, I've been vegan for a number of years. I recommend it. And one of the reasons is the environment, just how damaging raising cows, raising cattle, and then growing all the corn to feed all that cattle, how disastrous that's been for the environment. So it's a good reason to not just go vegetarian, to not eat the cows, but also don't drink and consume milk or dairy products because that just supports the cattle industry, all of which it's cruel. It's cruel to the animals, but it's cruel to the environment. And so one of the interesting things I heard on, I think it was BBC today, is that people have this idea that the carbon footprint is all about how far your food came from. But it turns out, not surprisingly, that the carbon footprint of an orange, like an orange that they flew from Chile, like you go to your supermarket here in the Northeast and grab an orange from Chile and you think, oh boy, this must have a giant carbon footprint because they flew it. Yeah, they flew it. That's not great. But it has a much, much, much smaller carbon footprint than the steak you bought from a cow that was raised nearby. So, them's the facts. I'm doing a little bit of proselytizing and preaching on the show tonight, which I normally don't do, but there it is. That's my vote. Give up the meat. Give it up completely. Be nice to the animals. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to the planet. Give up the meat. Give up the cheese. Give up the eggs. Give up all of that stuff. As the PETA t-shirt says that I wear sometimes, si no es tu mamá, no es tu leche. If it's not your mama, it ain't your milk. All right. There, that was a lot of preaching. Look for the silver lining whene'er a cloud appears in the blue. Remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. There's like another cloud. There was clouds in that last song. Well, there were no clouds. Here there are clouds. Seldom. The skies aren't cloudy all day. And here we have, whenever a cloud appears in the blue. That's Jerome Kern and Buddy DeSilva. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. Always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life. Life, 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 life. Jerome Kern. Yes, Jerome Kern, exactly. Well done. Jerome Kern. Buddy DeSilva wrote the words. Buddy DeSilva. Arugula is quite unique. Yeah, I love arugula. Rucola. Or they call it rocket in England, which is kind of funny. They call arugula rocket. That's a good thing also about arugula. You can't put a sticker on it. You'd have to put a sticker on every leaf. That's the other thing I've heard on this whole subject of food and sustainability and environment and footprint is just how much stuff is packaged these days. Because also back in the day, you would go, if you went into that section, the vegetables and the fruit, there wasn't a whole lot of packaging. But now everything is wrapped in something and stacked in something and put in a plastic box or a plastic bag or all that. It's hard to even just get. I mean, there is that one section where there's just like leaves. You can get the leaves, like the lettuce and all that stuff bundled together. Maybe there's a rubber band on it. That's kind of an interesting game, maybe an experiment to try to go shopping and just buy no packaging. Just go in there, just buy stuff that's not in a package. Yeah, I'm going to try that. Wow, 3 feet tall parsley. That's impressive. And basil keeps the mosquitoes away. Wow, that's good to know. There's so many mosquitoes here this year. They're really it's a bumper year. It's a bumper crop of mosquitoes. That's right, Mobius. We pay for all of that packaging in many ways. Oh, that's cool, Kathy. You grow the stuff from seed. Very cool. By the way, someone here is from Montana. Is that right? Is that you, Mobius? That must be a relatively short planting season. Look for the silver lining. Oh, Montana, right. Okay, so I wanted to tell you, just coincidentally, our puppy, this beautiful, Dane puppy, she came with the name Kalispell. So her original name was Kalispell, which I didn't know what that was. It sounded like a mystical name or something from Harry Potter, but it's a town in Montana, from what I gleaned from the internet. So I still sometimes think of her as Callie, although she's become Hildy. That's her name, but that's where she's from. That's where her original name was Kalispell. Cool. Oh, it's a Native American name. Interesting. All right. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Who is that? Is that Ozzy? No. Oh, I just put seeds in the ground today. Those six cannabis seeds that I got from a friend, they germinated. 4 of them popped open and were looking good. So I put them in a little bit of dirt in those little kind of they're pots that are sort of made out of, I don't know what it is, some sort of a fiber. They're really soft. And then once they pop out of that, I'll stick them in the ground. Yeah. And then I'll give it away. Yeah, I soaked them in water for a week. Water on a plate with some tissue paper. That was it. Yeah. Really simple. I did it, I think, 2 years ago and 3 years ago. It was pretty successful. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. Always. Always is a very long time. They say, like, under promise, over deliver. So that song, that's risky. That's risky, that song. Promising always. But it's a nice song. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your eyes. Thank you for your ears. Thanks for being here. Always is also a lot of directions. Very good point. It's all the compass points. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Great to share some tunes and some thoughts with you. And I will see you every night at 9, any night at 9. And you can always tune in anytime. All the episodes. Oh, tonight is episode 317, according to Google. Since I started doing the show on July 14th last year. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the year mark. All right. Thanks very much. And I will see you all mañana. Have a great night.